Hello everyone, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is my weekly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's from the 14th of January until the 20th of January 2019. So it's of course from the 14th of January until the 20th of January 2019, and I'm going to start with this horoscope sign of Aries. Now Aries, this is going to be the week of the actual rediscovery and the week of discovery. There is just something very emotional that is just going to happen to you, and which is going to make you on one hand to reconnect with a certain stages in your childhood, and on another hand this is also going to want you to make a reconnection with like a people in your life, but especially those people that you haven't seen in a really long time. So this week is actually going to be really important when it comes to the actual relationships and when it comes to the social relationships, but also you are about to discover something very interesting about yourself this week. Very interesting indeed, and it's all kind of going to make sense, because this certain discovery that you are going to have about yourself, it's just going to come like a certain realization, and it's going to come through people in your life, through friends in your life, through people who are sharing the life with you, through people who you actually know. And this is going to be wonderful, because this is going to result in you having a certain new direction that is going to become available after this, and also you are going to have the certain new option that is just going to become available for you after this moment, after this point. You're going to realize some strength that you have. You're going to realize certain power that you have. On another hand, this is going to be the week when you will feel very much so connected to your spirituality, very much so connected to strange things in life, very much so connected to bizarre things in life. And this is also going to be really good, because it's going to kind of give you, on another hand, really wonderful balance, and you will come across with a situation this week when you're going to need to be really brave. Please do remember me, remember me, Aries, saying just to be brave. To be the actual brave. To be brave, it's the actual key. To be brave is the actual answer. It's really good, because it is going to be a certain situation what is going to arrive this week, where you're going to find yourself in a situation where somebody's going to kind of try to trick you into something. There is a certain person who you will not trust. There's a certain person who you're going to be kind of disappointed this week, but at the end of the day, this is going to be really good, because it is going to be also the realization about somebody that is just going to set you on the whole new journey. And also when it comes to the actual health, you're gonna need to make sure that you get good 8 sleep this week. This week you're gonna need to get 8 hours of sleep. It's gonna be very essential, because this is going to be quite sensitive area indeed. I'm not saying that you're gonna have a problem with the sleeping, but I'm saying that you're gonna be quite sensitive when it comes to the sleeping and things like that. So please try to avoid a coffee, try to avoid sugar, try to avoid things like that, and try to make sure that you meditate and try to kind of focus on that side, on that part indeed. Also when it comes to the actual couples, this is a great week, because there is a certain creativity that is going to become very significant, and it is just going to make both of you to actually focus on a certain stage in your life that you wanted to do something in a long time, but it wasn't the right time. So this is something that's going to start happening here. Okay, the new creation, very significant. And when it comes to those of you that are actually single, you see that those of you that are actually single, you are going to be focusing on what is just going to be the new stage in your life when it comes to the actual focus, when it comes to things that what you do. And this is going to be very significant, because there is also at the same time some kind of blast from the past is going to try to come back. Blast from the past is going to try to come forward back into your life. But I would just suggest to stay away from this person, because this person is again not going to be the right person for you. Sometimes we are meant to kind of reconnect with certain people in our lives. It all depends, but most certainly this is going to be somebody who's not going to be the right person for you indeed. So it is going to be blast from the past, but at the same time it's also going to remind you why you were not together anymore. Okay, now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, of course, is going to be Taurus. Now Taurus, this is a very interesting week, because there is some kind of confrontation that you are going to be the part of. So please be very careful, Taurus. It is the certain confrontation, and it is just going to be like a really passionate. I can see the certain passion on your side, but I can see the certain passion on this other person's side or other people's side that you will have a confrontation with. This confrontation is not going to be too bad, but it's just going to be a little bit of arguments about something that was just kind of boiling for a while, something that was like kind of burning for a while, but something that at the same time you feel very passionate about. You want to kind of work on it, but at the same time you know that there are certain flows and certain problems that you need to discuss. There's a very serious discussion that you are going to have, and number 4 is also going to be very significant here. This discussion is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, but also it's going to make you to do something that you don't want to do, to react the way you don't want to react, to be a little bit stroppy, but at the end of the day, this is going to be absolutely brilliant for your balance, because it is just you're going to be able to kind of cool down after this moment, after this point, and it is just going to resolve in an absolutely brilliant, great satisfaction. The bottom line is that you are going to have a great satisfaction, and it's almost going to be like a listening to the whole new music, listening to the whole new harmony, when it comes to your life and when it comes to your new life direction. This is going to be really good, because at the same time you're going to be very happy about somebody in your life. Somebody in your life who means to you quite a lot is just going to be going through something very significant indeed. This doesn't have to be your partner, but it's just going to have a really wonderful reflection on you, and it's going to make you feel really, really happy. Also, this week it's almost going to be like a perfect when it comes to actually when it comes to your direction, when it comes to the certain realization, because that realization was like a missing. That realization that was missing in your life so far is the clear picture about certain stages in your life. And sometimes if we don't have a clear picture, then we can't focus, and we can't focus, then we don't really know which way to turn. So this is going to be really good, because this is going to be the realization that is also going to be like a very enlightening experience for you, and it's also going to allow the whole new door to become open for you. So this is going to be absolutely brilliant. And also I can see that there is going to be there's a situation that is going to arise out of the blue, and you're going to need to react really quickly. And that situation that is going to arise, it's going to arise from somebody who is not a bad person, but it's somebody who's really, really wise indeed. Somebody who's really wise, and somebody who is having an amazing influence on you. So it is going to be a very good, like actually sharp situation that is going to happen. Sharp situation, I mean that you're going to just kind of need to react. You're going to need to react like almost immediately, and that is going to be really good, because it is just going to help you to deal with a certain problem. At the same time, it is just going to help you with a really wonderful and nice conclusion. When it comes to the actual health, my beautiful babies, you need to watch your shoulders, and you need to watch your hands. Your arms are actually going to be quite sensitive areas, so it's telling me that it's just going to be like a lot to do with the circulation. If it's a lot to do with the circulation, I highly recommend the flaxseed oil, but I always say flaxseed oil capsules or flaxseed oil like the actual oil form, which would be the base, but it's not sometimes as easy to take. But if you are on any other medications, that you need to check with your GP or with your doctor whether you're going to be able to take a flaxseed oil. But flaxseed oil is absolutely wonderful when it comes to the skin health, and when it comes to omega-3 essential fatty acids, and also when it comes to the actual circulation. Okay, when it comes to those of you that are actually in relationship, this is an important week, my Tauruses, my Bambinis. This is going to be an important week, because it's all about a victory, and it's all about a mental clarity. So it's not about the partner, it's just going to have a really big stepping point this week, really big turning point this week. It's something you wanted, something you were focusing on, something you were waiting when it comes to their success, when it comes to the certain continuation of the certain stage in their life. Now this is happening. This is absolutely brilliant, because it's just going to give an amazing option to both of you. When it comes to those of you Tauruses, my babies that are actually single, you are going to come across somebody very interesting this week. But it's not about you finding someone, it's not about you falling in love, but it's just that person is going to play a crucial role on you. Crucial role when it comes to you, when it comes to your energy, when it comes to your actual really powerful realization, because you're going to feel really good about this person, and the way you're going to feel around this person is going to be the key to your new person who is going to walk in your life, and it's not going to be that long at all. Okay, now the third sign that I'm going to talk about is going to be Gemini. Now, Gemini, my beautiful babies, it's like you have been going through quite a lot already from only the beginning of this year. Indeed, 2019 was like all over the place. It was absolutely mind-blowing. So much was happening, but this now seems to be like really strong continuation of something that happened in your life, my beautiful Geminis, in June 2018. Something started happening in June 2018 that is very significant. It became very significant new stage in your life, whether you realize this or not. Sometimes the certain dimension can actually arise and happen in our life without us even realizing actually what this is, what is happening. It all depends how open and how aware you were. So now something that happened actually in June 2018 is just, this is going to be the direct continuation of this, okay? So this week is going to be very important because it is going to be the second stage of what happened, and that is going to resolve, to make it more clear to you, in the actual massive, huge, bombastic, powerful, amazing transition. And this transition is gonna brilliant. So this is the week of your transition. This is the week of your change. This is the week when a lot of things are gonna happen. A lot of things are gonna have a certain effect on you, but also there's a lot of options that you are going to be having this week that are just going to be absolutely brilliant. There is going to be a certain person that is going to give you an amazing advice. Certain person who means to you a lot. Certain person who is a very important person in your life. This person is also very wise. This person is also very clever. This person is quite amazing when it comes to their spirituality, when it comes to what they did in general. You know, this person is just making the right decision. So there is a really wonderful, beautiful advice that you are going to have from this person, and this person is also going to be female and very, very wise indeed. So look for the actual advice that you are going to have, and that advice is going to have direct answer to your own transition. So there is going to be the point that you're going to have this week that is almost going to be life-changing, literally life-changing, but especially when it comes to this year. This week is going to have a massive impact and influence on the whole year. So just go for it, do as much as you can, try as much as you can, try new things, try different things, try things slightly differently. If you're looking for a job, just try to be very, very open-minded. Remember what Sasha is telling you right now, Gemini, my witnesses, be very open-minded. This week, you need to remember that you need to be very open-minded indeed. Okay, when it comes to the actual health, you're also going to kind of have a little bit of problems, like when it comes to your interesting, just like a Taurus, you know, when it comes to the actual arms, when it comes to your hands, and when it comes to your shoulders, and when it comes to your top back, you see, you're gonna have a little bit of like a negative areas here, which means that this is also going to do with like a little bit of circulation. And when it comes to your back, you're just going to need to make sure that you don't strain your back too much, don't carry too heavy things. And also when it comes to the actual circulation, you know, to sit in the correct way. I'm probably not sitting in the correct way myself, but you know, like you're just going to need to sit in the correct way. And also basically when it comes to your actual circulation, just like a Taurus, like it's basically your arms and your hands, you know, and your shoulders, you know, like a little bit of circulation negativity I'm seeing here. So you're just going to need to get like a little bit of flaxseed oil, which is something that I highly recommend for circulation. And also flaxseed oil comes in the capsules, or it comes like in a oil form. Oil form is better, but the capsules are basically easier to take. So it's all up to you. And also important to say, if you are on any other medications, that you do need to check with your doctor or with your GP. So because only your doctor or your GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications. Okay, so now Gemini, my sweetness, is now actually, for those of you that are in relationship, you know, you're going to realize how strong your partner is this week. You're going to realize how strong your partner is this week. And also you will really benefit from their power and benefit from their strength. And you're going to also benefit from their spirituality and benefit from their wiseness. They will give you an amazing idea. So therefore there is something really also life-changing and very much so connected to everything I said so far to your partner as well. And your partner is just going to kind of play an important role, a crucial role in your life this week, because there is a certain wiseness that you're going to receive from your partner, and that wiseness is just going to be the new main focal point, and it's all going to make sense, and it's all going to be absolutely brilliant when it comes to the new stage for both of you. Okay, and when it comes to those of you that are single, it's just like a, oh, no, 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 no. There is someone horrible here, okay? When it comes to those of you that are single, someone is just going to come in the form of like a little beauty, you know, like a little beauty person, like amazing energy, like maybe kind of deceiving, you know, because from the outside it's like kind of amazing, but as soon as you come a little bit closer, you feel that something is not right. You feel like the aura is a little bit strange. You feel like a balance is not right. You feel like a dark. No, 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 no. This is too dark. When I say dark, I'm referring to the actual energy of this person and somebody who's going through something very difficult and somebody who's suffering because they went through something very difficult in their relationship. So they would try to come forward and they would try to kind of like make themselves available to you. And Sasha will just tell you now, I'm going to tell you, please, please, please avoid this person because this is not going to be the right person for you. Okay, so just try to stay away at all costs. Okay. Now, the next sign I'm going to be talking about, of course, it's going to be Cancer. Now, Cancer, this is the week of you rewarding yourself. You need to reward yourself. Reward yourself. You reward yourself. Buy something big. Buy something huge. Do something big. Do something different. This is all about reward, reward, reward. Now, this is the right time. Whatever was going on in your life, it was very, very busy recently. It was very busy in 2018 when it comes to you, my beautiful Cancerians, like a busy all over the place. But I'm just saying that whatever was going on in your life now, this is the right time. The balance is getting right, that you need to just like kind of take a break or break free from whatever you do and just try to change your environment if you can. I know it's easy for me to say, oh, try to change your environment if you can. Yeah, because you may not be able to go to travel or something like that. If you can't go to travel or something like that, that's absolutely fine. Just try to like do something different. When I say change the environment, just try to do something different. Try to open a new page, try to open a new leaf, go to the different place, go to different area, and try to do this for a week. And this is also the way we kind of reward ourselves, and we also relax like this as well. When we change the energy, when we change the area, when we change the people, this is going to be very significant. But it's a lot about you actually really, really rewarding yourself, because what is going to happen, you're going to realize something really big this week. Something really big, and this is going to come through you just enjoying the products and the fruit from the hard work and the things that have been going on lately. Now this is just going to be the time for you to actually just kind of just enjoy yourself and just look at the life and look at the things from a slightly different picture. There is also going to be the week when you're going to feel like on top of the world. This is going to be really, really great week indeed, and there is just you're going to feel very close to the certain idea that is just going to start growing and growing and growing and growing. And every time you relax and every time you chill out, every time you have a little bit of break, this idea is going to come through. This idea is going to come forward. This idea is going to become more enhanced, more enhanced, more enhanced. If you haven't had a life develop the way it developed so far, if things didn't happen the way they happened so far, if there wasn't certain uncertainty every now and then, you see, you wouldn't come to this point. But this is really brilliant, because this is also going to result in your own personal success. And it's also a lot about your material attainment, okay? And it's a lot about advantages, a lot about your personal well-being, abundance, and it's absolutely brilliant. When it comes to the actual health, this is going to be a brilliant week when it comes to the actual health as well, because for those of you that have been suffering for a long time from a certain ailments that you didn't see any results or anything like that, this is going to be like, ooh la la, I like it, I like it, I like it, because the energy levels are going to be like through the roof, you know. Gosh, yeah, the energy levels are going to be like through the roof, like really, meaning of course the energy levels are going to be really good. You're going to feel really brilliant. You're going to be very productive this week as well. Whatever you do, whatever you decide to do, whichever way you decide to go, whatever you decide to focus on, you're still going to find yourself being very, very productive indeed. So when it comes to the energy, when it comes to the health, it's going to be brilliant, and it's always going to stem from the actual energy levels that is just going to have a really optimistic and positive effect on you indeed. There is going to be very strong, swift activity and sudden change, but in a good way, with a certain stage in your life, a certain area in your life that just didn't move on for a while, but it wasn't because of you, it would be because of other people or because of other influence. Now, this is going to have a really wonderful, swift activity indeed. When it comes to those of you that are in relationship, it's just you're going to find yourself being in a really good place here this week with your partner. Your partner is going to do something really nice. Your partner is going to do something really significant. And I think that you will kind of be you were longing for it. You wanted it. You were focusing on it subconsciously. You wanted something that your partner is going to actually do for you this week. And you're going to find yourself in a really wonderful and a compassionate situation with your partner. It's going to be brilliant because this is going to mean so much to both of you. Really nice. Okay, so now when it comes to those of you that are single, ooh, potential suitor. Now through somebody who you know, through the person you know, there is someone that is going to cross your path this week. There is someone that is going to cross your path this week indeed. And this person is going to be connected to the people you know. This person is going to be connected to people you know, and it's going to be somebody who's very significant in their lives. But anyway, it's just going to be somebody who you're just going to feel very strongly about, somebody who you're going to feel very positive about, and somebody you're just going to see the big picture immediately. As soon as this person crosses your path, you're going to just kind of see this person in a certain light, see this person being really responsible, see this person being really amazing, see this person being the right person for you. But you will be able to see around it, through it, and you will be able to see the whole picture about this person. You'll be able to see yourself really, really far with this person. So someone very significant is going to come forward for those of you that are single and ready to mingle. You may not even be ready to mingle. You're still going to kind of, have a great time. Okay, now the next sign I'm going to be talking about, of course, is going to be a Leo. Now, Leo, you are just going to have a new option this week. This new option is not going to be 1, 2, 3. This is going to be 3 new options that you're going to have this week, and this is all going to be based on one thing. This is all going to be based on your life now. This is all based on what you're doing now and what you're actually focusing on. But it's also very much so connected to about 4 years ago. Now, this is a very karmic week, I have to say, very karmic week for lots of us, because certain things from the past are going to come back, bounce back, for us to sort them out, for us to pay attention. Some of them are going to be good, some of them are not going to be that good. It all depends, and it's all to do with our own personal spiritual journey. But when it comes to you, my Leos, my babies, now this week is going to be very significant, because this week we are actually going to have the results of your hard work that happened 4 years ago, that started roughly 4 years ago. 4 years ago, the results of hard work, the results of your focus, the results of your energies that you are directing towards the certain parts of your life, towards the certain journeys in your life, and this is all going to get back to you, and this is going to be really brilliant, because you're just going to find yourself this week in a really good place when it comes to materialistic life, when it comes to money, and when it comes to career. Although if you don't get money straight away this week, but this is all going to kind of be really good, because it is going to be a massive news that you are going to have a really wonderful readjustment, and that readjustment, it is also at the same time going to be the step in a new direction. It's fantastic, because it's all down to you, and it's all down to your hard work, and you will be able to do something really big here, and it's involving other people in your life as well, something that you wanted to do for a really long time. There is also going to be a really fantastic, bombastic, like a sexy decision that you're going to make. Okay, like a really, nothing to do with that, but it's just like a really good decision, very, very glamorous decision that you are going to make, and you will see exactly what I mean. So therefore, you're going to kind of find yourself in a situation when you will be able to reward yourself, and this is going to be brilliant. And at the same time, this is the decision that you are going to make, and this decision that you are going to make, you will feel very, very passionate about, and it's just connected to so much to you making a really big difference in your life, when it comes to you making a really big change in your life. Okay, what else I was going to say, that it's going to be very significant this week. There's a new passion that is going to be born, and I really like this, because this new passion is just going to give you so much optimism, and this is just like something that is just going to be like a little bit of a food for thoughts to start with, but then as the time goes by, you're just going to feel very, very strongly connected to this new stage, new era in your life. But it is also going to be very much so connected to you making certain changes, or you making a big changes. What else I was going to say, there is something very important going to happen this week when it comes to your past. somebody from the past is also going to come forward, and it's just going to connect you to the certain stage and certain area in your past. When I say somebody from your past, you can also mean about this person. You can also think. You can also think about this person, and this is also like kind of energy, you know, you're thinking about it, you're focusing on it, you're there with your mind. It's very strong, it's very powerful. It can also happen in that way. It all depends. So you may wake up and think about certain person, certain area in your childhood. However, it's a very much so going to be connected to memories, and you will see exactly what I mean, because the certain memory from the past, it's going to bring you a really amazing insight. Okay, insight on what is going on now in your life and how you want your life to be, and this is just going to make sense. Don't you worry about it whatsoever. And there is also going to be somebody that is going to have an amazing influence on you, somebody who's a very amazing, somebody who's very like a fatherly person, somebody who's a very powerful person, somebody who has got this wonderful energy, balancing energy. That person is going to have a wonderful influence on you. So you will see what is going to happen. You will see something, it's just going to catch your attention, and then it's going to have a really wonderful impact, influence on you. What else I was going to say, when it comes to the actual health, you're just going to need to like kind of like, this is the week when you feel like you're going to feel like a little bit tired, you know, very quickly. So just try to kind of have enough rest, you know, just try to not to work too long hours, or try to not to strain yourself too much, you know, just try to take as much as you know, the chilling time, and just try to relax as much as you can, because you're just going to find yourself that you're going to feel like a little bit tired, and this is going to be purely because the energies are going to changing, a lot is going to be changing, and in terms of you thinking about things in a really big way, this is going to be the drain of energy in a certain way, and it's a lot going to be happening, and you're going to be making certain decisions, and you're going to be focusing on a certain decision, and this is going to be draining your energy to the point where you're going to feel, oh God, I'm so tired after 3 or 4 hours of work. Just remember, it's not going to last long. Just remember, it's going to last for a week, and it's going to be absolutely fine. And try to drink lots of water. What else I was going to say, when it comes to those of you that are in relationship, you see, I can just tell you that there is your partner is going to need a little bit of help this week, because your partner is going to go through something quite maybe a little bit difficult, maybe a little bit heavy, like a little bit of depression and sadness, because certain part of their life, it's not going to turn out that week the way they wanted it, and so they will just have to kind of change things a little bit, but it's just going to kind of affect them in a certain way. So when that happens, just like kind of try to like kind of step forward, you know, come closer to your partner, and your partner is going to need you this week, basically. Okay, so help them out a little bit. Okay, do something for them, buy them something, make them a little bit happy, and that is going to be, you know, it's going to be good for them, because this is going to last for a week only anyway. Okay, so now the next thing that I was going to say is for those of you that are actually single. For those of you that are single, it is just going to be a couple of people are going to become available for you, and a couple of people are going to be on your mind, but I will just kind of stay away from both of the people, because both of the people I just don't trust. I don't trust. So Leo, my babies, you know, if you do find someone this week, you know, the couple of choices that you're going to have, because I can see you thinking about two people. One could be like to do with something from the past, but another one is something to do with this now. Something is going to happen this week. Okay, someone new is going to come forward as well. But I was just kind of trying to tell you that, you know, to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of chat and things like that, that's absolutely fine. But these both people are not someone who are going to stay around for too long, because these both people are focusing, and they have their focus somewhere else. So if you want that, that's fine. But if you want somebody like serious, then this person is not going to be the right person for you whatsoever. So I'm just telling you now. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be Virgo. Now, Virgos, you are going to be like all around the place this week. This is going to be crazy week. This is going to be busy week. This week is, when I say crazy week, it's going to be brilliant, because this is when you're going to start feeling all your energy back. And the same as I said to the other sign before, this is going to be a brilliant week when it comes to the energy levels. Virgos, my babies, you had a little bit of problem with energy lately, and especially in the couple of weeks, you know, the energy level levels, especially in the last 3 weeks, the energy levels haven't been that great, but in the last week it's been like a little bit very cloudy indeed. This cloudness has caused you Virgos like to kind of like not feel the energy for as long as you can. So when it comes to the productivity, you were productive and all that, but then again it just didn't feel that way, because you Virgos, you like to feel like a crystal clear. You normally have a picture that you follow, you know, through, and you normally have like a really crystal clear picture. Your focus is always like a really bright, but sometimes of course, you know, there's a little bit of cloudness that appears, and that can be caused by so many different things indeed. The bottom line is that this cloud is like about to shift now, like completely, and once it's shifted, you know, it's going to have a wonderful effect on you Virgos, because you will be able to like kind of find yourself really productive. So therefore the productivity is going to be all around the place. Anything big that you have to do or deal with, go for it this week, my babies. It's going to be amazing. If you have some kind of negotiations or something like that, go for it, because you're going to end up with so much more that you would normally end up, because of the energy it's going to be on your side. And I said this so many times, I'm going to say that again, because when we use the energy, when we manipulate this energy in the right way, we do things at the right time, like for example with the moon energy, then we are just able to kind of go with this particular sync of energy, and then this energy is just helping us to kind of like just get everything right. And once we get everything right, then basically we're just able to enjoy the fruit of our labor so much more than we would normally enjoy indeed. And what else I was going to say, it's really fantastic, because it's a lot going to be about your own victory and mental clarity this week, and that in itself is going to bring you a great abundance, fulfillment, perfection, and also joy, and that also is going to bring the whole new balance. So there are two new options that are going to become available for you this week. These two new options are going to be connected to money, career, finances, and a new life at the end of the day. You know, you could even be retired, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be everything that I said so far. It's going to be connected to finances, and then at the end of the day, two new massive options that are going to become, you know, that are going to come out of it, that are going to be absolutely brilliant. And these two new options are just going to make you realize something really powerful, something really big about yourself, which is going to become a huge option. And now the situation that was powerless, just that you were powerless about just 2 weeks ago, that the problem is going to come through. There's a conclusion to the problem that you are going to have, and this is what these wonderful energies are going to be. And what else I was going to say is like there will be a moment this week when you will want to step back, a little bit of hermit moment, but this is brilliant, which means that you are going to have your omen this week. And this omen is just going to be so significant. And just remember that when you have this omen, just remember when you see this, you see it is going to be the bird that is just going to be very significant for you Virgos this week. Whichever way this bird is going to come, whichever way this bird is going to happen, whichever way this bird is going to manifest. Now the bird is going to make an amazing impact on you, because it's going to come through to you as an omen. But just remember, this is the deep time, this is a spiritual time, this is the time of awakening. So see and think and realize what you were thinking around the time. Number 7 is going to play an important role, and you do know that number 7 is such a strong angelic and spiritual number that is connected to our angels, our angel guides, our spirit guides, and things like that. So this is going to be amazing. What else I was going to say, Virgos, my babies, like an invitation to opportunity is going to arise as well this week. This is going to be brilliant. This is going to be life-changing. This is going to come in form as a request, amazing request that you are going to have, and it is going to be challenging, and it is going to make you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it. Just go for it. Be brave, Virgos. This is your week, okay? And also there's going to be the certain proposal and proposition that is just gonna happen this week. An amazing week indeed. What else I was going to say, it's like a watch for an advice from somebody very much so business oriented, business minded, somebody who's a business minded, a business oriented, somebody who you think of very highly. You're gonna get an amazing life-changing advice from. You're either going to get an advice directly, or either you're going to talk to this person, you're going to see this person, and some kind of realization is going to get to you, realization is going to come to you. But this is going to be an amazing thing, because a huge starting point, it's actually going to happen reflect this moment, and you will make a really massive and huge decision. What else I was going to say? So basically, when I say to the health, you know, health is going to be absolutely brilliant, because you're going to feel really ecstatic, because you're going to be full of energy, and I like it because it's going to have a really wonderful reflection on you and the people around you. You're going to find yourself like doing a lot. So it's a brilliant time when it comes to the actual health. On another hand, when it comes to Virgos that are in relationship, you know, this is going to be brilliant, because there is a decision that you're going to need to make, both of you, this week. And this decision is going to be huge. This decision is going to be massive, okay? And it is just something to do with like a justice, you know? And so this is why this decision is going to be really important. And the bottom line is that you're both going to make a decision this week, and that decision is going to be really, really good. And it is going to be the step in the right direction. When it comes to the actual Virgos that are single, I can see you having a lot of great time this week. I can see you being all around the place. I can see you meeting lots of people. I can see you being in touch with lots of people, and I can see you flirting and having a great time. But I'm also see you kind of flirting with someone and having fun with someone, but as in fun of flirting, maybe looking at them like a little bit. But then again, there is going to be the moment when you're going to like find out more about that person. There's something is going to happen, then you're going to realize this is not the right person. Okay, so this is what's going to happen to you, and this is going to be really significant. Just the realization, maybe this is not the right person, because you will see something about them that you're not going to like, okay? You will see something about them that you're not going to find maybe so attractive, and it all depends. This is really deep, and this is really personal. It could even come in a form of like you're just realizing something about that person that reminds you of somebody else who you don't actually like. So it's going to be like that type of thing, okay? So now when it comes to the next sign that I'm going to do, it's going to be, of course, Libra. Now, Libra, my sweetnesses, this is just going to be your week for certain. You are just going to kind of rediscover yourself this week, because also the energy levels are going to be quite good. And these energy levels that are going to be really amazing and quite good are also going to have an amazing impact on you, an amazing impact on people around you. There is a certain bravery you're going to have this week. There is a certain bravery you're going to feel this week, and that bravery is amazing, because it is just going to be a huge and new starting point for you. And it's also going to kind of make you deal with the problem, with the situation that arose 8 months ago, and that you felt really, really uneasy, uncertain, and you didn't know what to do. So you will be able to grab the bull by its horns, and you're just going to be able to deal with this problem, to deal with this situation. And this is really good, because just like as I said, just 8 months ago, you felt like really like a powerful situation. You just didn't know what to do. But now the wonderful energy of this week that is just going to bring you, this is just going to be amazing. And you're also going to have some kind of wish coming through, some kind of wish coming forward, which means that basically what you were hoping for when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your financial situation, when it comes to you making a new step, a new stage in your life, you know, now you will see that this is going to be the week when you're going to see the results of your hard work, and I like it. It's not going to come to you straight away then and there, but you will be aware, you will be made known, they will let you know, you will be aware of the fact that your situation is just going to start flowing towards you, and it's going to be brilliant, because there is also going to be a little surprise for you, and this is going to be a good surprise, because also something is going to happen. Libras, I'm so happy for you, because it is basically, let me put it this way, for what you prayed for, okay, for what you prayed for so far, for what you were hoping for so far, okay, it's about to happen. For what you were focusing on, you were literally praying for that for a really long time, but especially in the last 7 months, this was very, very strong. Especially in the last 7 months, you were really hoping for this stage to happen, and now this is going to start happening for you. It might not happen straight away then and there, but as I said, the realization, this is going to be life-changing, and there are going to be more options that you're just going to realize than you were actually hoping for to become available for you after this moment, after this point, and this is going to be absolutely brilliant. brilliant, because it's going to make you realize that this is just the beginning, and it's also some deep concentration and study that are going to become available after this moment for you. You're going to become feeling very attached to the certain deep concentration and study, because you will start going towards a certain direction. You will start floating towards a certain direction, and this is really good, and it's all going to make sense to you, because this is most certainly going to be towards your own victory and mental clarity, and this is going to be brilliant. Very, very creative week indeed. Also, when it comes to the actual relationships and connections, it's like so good, because you will feel very close to your family, you will feel very close to your family members, and especially if you had certain problems lately, or you just things didn't work out with certain people in your family, now this is going to be absolutely great, because it's going to be fantastic, harmonious time. When it comes to your relationships, social relationships, this is going to be really great time indeed as well, and I think that's absolutely wonderful. Okay, and what else I was going to say? Big change when it comes to home. I've been seeing this for a while, and I'm seeing this again, which means a big change when it comes to your home. This is going to be good change. This is going to be a big change, and more than one person is obviously going to benefit from it. So it's going to be absolutely brilliant, because the whole new passion is also going to be born here. Okay, what else I was going to say? A wonderful influence from somebody who's very clever, very intelligent, very smart here, and you will like that. This is the right time for such a wonderful influence in your life. Okay, and also what I was going to say, just to say to you that the health is going to be absolutely brilliant, because it's all about you feeling energetic, all about your energy levels also being great, also being fantastic. It's all about this balance coming back. So this is brilliant, because it's going to have a wonderful reflection on you, and you will be able to achieve a lot. You will feel very optimistic this week, throughout the week, and this is going to be absolutely brilliant, because it's all about the balance, it's all about balanced force, it's all about harmony, and it's all about you being firm with the things that you should be firm in your life indeed. Okay, what else I was going to say? When it comes to your partner, you see, it's just going to be like your partner is going to really need to be very careful this week not to spend too much, not to pay too much, not to buy something huge, buy something massive. If you want to buy something big, buy something huge, buy something massive, you want to make a massive step, massive new stage, I would avoid this week. Just avoid this week, especially when it comes to from your partner, because your partner is going to have some kind of new stage, some kind of way of thinking, some kind of new way of thinking when it comes to like some kind of possession and things like that, something big. So not to do anything this week, to wait like about a week later, because it's not going to be the great time. Okay, not quite right balance for that. And also when it comes to those of you that are single and ready to mingle, it's just like, as I said, lots of social relationships, like a lot is going to be happening when it comes to your social relationships, when it comes to the people in your life, people who mean to you a lot and things like that. And this is going to be brilliant, because there is someone going to start manifesting themselves in your life here, and this person who is going to start manifesting themselves in your life is just going to be someone very good looking, someone very interesting, someone very smart, someone very intelligent, and somebody who is very serious as well. What I see here is that someone is going to manifest in your life who is very serious, but it's just like sometimes people look very serious, but beyond, and behind it, they're absolutely hilarious, they're really funny and things like that. Perhaps it could be a person like this, but I can tell you that it's somebody who is like really focusing a lot on their future, focusing a lot on like a business side of life, and there's nothing wrong with this. This is absolutely fine as long as people have a work-life balance, the actual balance within them. So there is going to be an option become available for you. Someone is going to cross your path that you haven't kind of think about before in this particular way, and this is just going to kind of get your attention. And also you'll find yourself in a situation where you're going to think about how many similar things you do have with this person, and how you could actually see yourself with the future plannings in your life with this particular person in your life. Okay, so now the next sign I'm going to be talking about is actually going to be Scorpio. You need to be careful this week, because there is a little devil that is gonna be dancing around this week, Scorpio. So avoid devil, avoid naughty people, avoid evil people. I'm not telling you to be normal with evil people or with naughty people, but this week it's going to be really absolutely essential for you to stay away from like a darkness, people who are having a dark energy. Stay away from people who are really strange to you. Stay away from the people who are really funny to you. Stay away from people who are really reacting in a really bizarre way. Just because you're gonna on one hand feel very, this is going to be a psychic week. You will be able to feel people even more that you normally feel. So don't get confused by these feelings. You just have to remember that I said that you have to follow your own intuition, because there is someone that is just going to be really horrible around you this week, but that little horrible person is just going to try to make themselves to be beautiful, to make themselves to be nice, to make themselves to be amazing. And this is the devil that I'm talking about. When I say devil, it's not a real devil, hopefully, but it's not a real devil, but it's the person who's very devilish, person who's very negative, person who's very horrible, person who's just not themselves, person who's not from this world. So just stay away from them. And this is just somebody who is going to try to play in a certain way, play the certain song in a certain way. With another hand, with another words, they will make themselves look in a certain way to you. So please avoid. So when it comes to the actual love, and those of you that are single, I would just say try to avoid any kind of a seriousness or anything like that this week. To have a little bit of fun, that's absolutely right, but there is somebody who's just going to try to kind of pretend that there's something else. And please, you need to be really careful, because also when it comes to the actual things that are going on in your life, like when it comes to the finances and things like that, there is a really good news that you are going to have when it comes to your finances and when it comes to your career, because there is going to be a really important request and challenge that you're also going to have. And this request and challenge that you are also going to have, it's going to be connected to proposal, it's going to be connected to proposition, but also most strongly it's just going to make you feel like a little bit uneasy, because it's just going to make you think about a certain stage in your life that you don't maybe have much experience about. But just don't worry, you will be absolutely fine. Just stick to your guns and you will be absolutely fine. The bottom line is, this is going to be a good week when it comes to the actual creativity. This is going to be the good week when it comes to you actually feeling good about yourself, because the finances are going to start feeling much better. It's all going to start making sense, but also there's a certain change going to happen at home, and the change that is going to happen at home is just not going to be directly connected to you, but to somebody else in your life who means to you so much. And this is just going to have an absolutely wonderful reflection in you, because you're going to realize how much you were actually worrying about a certain person and how much that actually affected you without even realizing. Okay, so this is going to be really important, because it's just going to be the beginning of the new stage, because the balance of energy is going to be good. You're going to get a really nice and wonderful balance of energies this week, and this balance of energy is just going to make you feel very creative and very optimistic. Okay, and what else I was going to say, 2 new options are going to be very significant, 2 new options, but they're going to be really small, they're going to be really tiny, they're not going to seem as significant, but just remember the actual seeds are also very tiny, okay, but they don't seem huge, they don't seem so significant, but you bury a little seed, and then you just go and see this massive and the most beautiful oak tree that grew out of it, and it's just absolutely huge, absolutely massive, very wise, very significant, very powerful. And this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. 2 tiny things, 2 things are going to be masked like in a tiny things that are not as significant, and your job is to find out what these things are, because you're going to end up with 2 choices this week, my babies. 2 choices. When it comes to the actual health, you see, I can see a stomach and a little bit of like a stomach pain and things like that. Can you do me a favor, please, Scorpios? Because what is going to be very significant for you this week, to drink a tea, chamomile tea, pure chamomile tea. If you can get organic chamomile tea, it will be absolutely perfect. Organic is more natural as better, because I can see that you will really benefit from a chamomile tea if you can drink this throughout the week with honey, no sugar. Or if you don't want to have a honey, you can just have it by itself, and the honey and a little bit of like a lemon. If you don't want to have a honey, then just just a lemon, but it is a really wonderful combination, and especially when it comes to like a stomach digestion and a stomach pain, and especially when it comes to the negativity, when it comes to things like that. So this is something you should really have, my beautiful babies. On another hand, you know what else I was going to say, it's a lot about suspension and transition. This is also you really reversing certain things in your life. You know, by reversing, it means that you will really feel close to your past, close to your childhood, and you will really have a reflection with a certain things, and certain things are going to bring you an insight. But this is also, the bottom line is, by the time this week finishes, my beautiful Scorpio, this is going to be your own regeneration. This is going to be your own rebirth. This is going to be your own transition indeed. And that in itself is just going to bring you a little bit of conflicting influence, which means that you're going to have to change something that you thought that this is going to be like this, but you're just going to kind of like just get rid of something in order to move on with your life indeed. When it comes to those of you that are in relationship, you know, when it comes to those of you that are in relationship, I said it is just an indecisive situation that you're going to have. For those of you that are single, I said this is not a great time for the relationships. Maybe like to have a great, you to go out, meet people, have some fun, absolutely fine. But there is a little devil I want you to stay away from, okay? So this is not a great time to like kind of try to find someone new. But when it comes to the actual people that are in relationship, your partner is going to be very indecisive. Your partner is going to be wanting to make a really big change, but this change, it's not something they can do by themselves. It's not they can make by themselves. They will need your help. So they'll be very indecisive, but the bottom line is it's going to seem like, oh my god, what to do. The both things is just going to be absolutely fine, but you know which decision to go for, you know which option to make. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about, it's actually going to be Sagittarius. Now Sagittarius, basically what you're gonna need to do this week is you're gonna need to like there will be the situation that is just not going to be that good. Like I see a little bit of like argument. I see a little bit of just like kind of maybe arguments that are stemming from the fact that maybe something is not going to work the way you wanted it to work. Something didn't happen the way it wanted it to happen, and it's just kind of, you will realize that you're gonna have to like make a little bit of like a uneasy situation. You're gonna need to be the part of a little bit uneasy situation, because you're gonna basically need to have a conversation with somebody about a certain stage in your life that you're not too excited about, that you're not too happy about, and this is very much so connected to you, to what you do, to your emotions, to your work, and to your life in general. This is connected to all of you, because it was affecting you in the last 3 months like more than you could have possibly ever imagined. So now this is going to be boom that is going to happen when you're just going to get this sacred energy this week, and that sacred energy is just going to be help you to deal with this problem, and to have a power, to have a fire, to have this great energy, and to say the right things, to do the right things. Whatever you do, you're going to do right. Whatever you say, you're going to do right. So this is going to be brilliant for you, because it is going to make you realize that you are going to get something really important out of, and that in itself is just going to make you feel really creative. And also it is going to be about your own justice, and that justice also is going to come through as in form of a certain materialistic gain, okay? And that materialistic gain is going to be really good for you, because it's just going to play an important role when it comes to your own practicality and security indeed. Okay, and what else I was going to say is just that there is an option that is going to be absolutely mind-blowing that you're actually going to have this week, Sagittarius, and that option that is a mind-blowing is just going to make you feel really good. It's going to make you feel really excited, and it's just going to make you realize, you know, it's going to give you the new reason to live, and it's almost going to be connected to those areas in your life when you felt really low and really negative, and you didn't know what to do, and it wasn't that long ago, and nothing made sense anymore. The candle wasn't burning anymore, and you just wanted to light that candle and just like go bright again, you know. And this is why this week, this is just going to be the week of awakening when it comes to you, because, you know, at the end of the day, there's a whole new preservative and the whole new vision that is going to come through, that is going to come forward for you this week. Absolutely brilliant, you know. When it comes to the actual health, you know, I know you're going to be going through like a little bit of stress and things like that this week, a little bit of stress and a little bit of anxiety. Not too much, not too bad at all. Just a normal stress and a normal anxiety. But this is only like, these are normal feelings, it's just basically there because it is just kind of going to, you will be in touch with certain people that are going to make you feel like a little bit negative, a little bit stressed, because on another hand, you're going to have to, on one hand, you're going to have to make a really important decision, on another hand, you're going to have to like be dealing with a certain challenge at the same time, but it's going to be absolutely brilliant. You're going to do absolutely well. So just try to avoid coffee, try to like kind of, you can drink coffee, of course, I can't tell you not to drink coffee, but try to like drink with it, maybe with honey instead of a sugar, or try to avoid sugar whatsoever, and try to drink lots of water, try to stick to water, and try to like avoid the situations that that can kind of make you stressed or anxious, or avoid people that can make you stressed and anxious. But just remember me, this is only going to last for weeks, so just remember to rise above it, and you will be able to hold on to that balance. Okay, what else I was going to say is just like there is a certain renewal of a certain relationship going to happen. This doesn't have to be somebody like who is like an old boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, or whatever. It can be just relationship with a certain person from the past who might have been your friend. It's like a friend that is going to come through, friend that's going to come forward. So somehow, in a certain way, this person is going to come into your life, and you're going to be aware of that. You're going to be made known. You see, this is going to be brilliant. Also, when it comes to the new certain focus in your life, when it comes to the certain judgment that you are waiting for something, someone trying to make a decision for you, like a judgment, it is going to be a little bit longer than when you thought. It is going to be slightly longer, but it's just going to be good. It's just a little bit of delay that I'm seeing, but it is going towards the right direction, so it's going to be absolutely fine. When it comes to those of you that are in relationship, I mean, this is going to be quite good, because your partner is going to have quite a lot going on in their lives this week, because your partner is going to have a really massive vision about something, and that vision is going to become a main point. That vision is going to become very optimistic new point and a new stage in your partner's life, because at the same time it's going to be really good for both of you to focus on something new, but at the same time it's going to make your partner really creative, and then you are going to benefit from this creativity as well. For those of you that are single, this is just going to be like the week when you're going to be kind of like a really busy, the week when you're going to be focusing on like the week when you're going to be like focusing on work, career, finances, and things like that. But at the same time, you're going to be meeting lots of people. But at the same time, I don't see you too much into like lovers or something like that, but the friends and things like that, like on that level, this is going to become very significant. And this is sometimes very, very important, because remember, our friends can become our lovers. Our friends can become, like something more. It all depends what our spiritual journey is with these people. So it all depends on our own spiritual journey. So this is going to be a very interesting week for those of you that are single. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is actually going to be Capricorn. Now, Capricorn basically is just like you. Oh, some kind of blast from the past is going to come through. Blast from the past is going to come forward. Someone is going to surprise you this week. And it is not about necessarily about love or something like that, but this is something to do with, I'm telling you, it's a lot to do with the karma. This week is a very karmic week indeed. Last week we had a spiritual week. This week we had a karmic week. And this is something that was going on in your life like at around 2 years ago. This is when it started. This is when you wanted this to happen. And this stage of your life did not work. No, baby, no. The reason why it didn't work 2 years ago, because it wasn't the right time. Now this is your stepping stone. Now this is your spiritual bridge. Now this is your right time. And this right time is happening now from what happened 2 years ago. And now there is a person that is connected to this that is going to come through and come forward, and it's going to surprise you a little bit. You're going to be like, oh, what on earth? But it's going to be fine. First, you're going to see that person like somebody who is really dark, like a dark energy, but then very quickly, as closer you're going to this person, the close sooner this happens, you're going to realize that this person is actually really good, and you are the one maybe who had a cloud vision about that person only because of what happened before. However, the bottom line is there is a whole new option going to happen, and this option is going to be brilliant because it's going to make you realize that this is a new stage in your life about to start manifesting. And it's a lot to do with you deep concentration and study and learning. You need to learn things in order to get what you want to get. That might not make sense to you now, but it's going to make sense to you when this happens, and you will see exactly what I mean, because that is going to be also connected to the big wish, something that you wanted to do for a really long time, but you were just waiting for the right moment, you were just waiting for the right time. Well, this is going to be the time of your own victory, mental clarity, and it's also going to make you feel very satisfied about yourself, satisfied about your life, and it's just other people are going to be very proud of you this week indeed. This is going to be really perfect week for the combination of material and spiritual prosperity. So anything that you want to do and do for yourself that is spiritual and that has got to do with attracting money, like a maybe little elephant, little elephant has got a really strong energy when it comes to attracting money, not ivory elephant, of course, but a little strictly no, but I meant like a little figurine, like whatever, like a plastic or gold or silver or something, it doesn't matter, just strictly no ivory, it's just like but it's just the energy of the actual elephant, because it's all about the energy, it's all about the shape, it's all about the symbol. Certain shape, certain symbol has got a certain energy. So certain elephant is very lucky, but it attracts money as well, like for example. So this is the significant time when you feel so powerful, you surround yourself with these little items. This is going to be the perfect time to surround yourself with these little items, like for example, even this plant. Look, this is like this plant is also well-known plant that attracts finances, for example, you see, and it's things like that. But especially when you're in tune, and especially how you're going to be in tune in this week, this is going to be brilliant. On another hand, you've got a fantastic materialistic gain that you're going to have. It's going to be very significant, and it's also going to feel very generous indeed, and you're going to like it because that is just going to be very good for your own practicality, security, and it's also going to bring a new balance and a new option, and you're going to feel like this is a really fair thing, okay? And also when it comes to the actual things about your life, like just try to keep certain things quiet, like when it comes to money, when it comes to your finances, don't talk about it too much to people who you don't know about. Of course you don't normally, but it's just like there is someone that is just going to be standing on the side, not that far from you, and try to hear something they shouldn't hear. So try to not to be too loud this week, okay? And what else I was going to say, when it comes to health, there is a certain just one shoulder is just going to be really, really like quite negative, and it's just one shoulder is just going to be causing a little bit of pain, causing a little bit of discomfort. It's important to sleep in the correct way, it's important to sit in the correct way, and it's also very, very important to get a massage, because professional massages can do a lot, or your friend or your partner, someone if you can massage. This is going to be a very significant time to actually massage this area on whichever side it is. When it comes to those of you that are in a relationship, I'm seeing that they're really fantastic. Your partner is going to have a really interesting and significant practicality and security coming through. So there is a new option going to become available for you at this moment, because you're going to start feeling very, very secure about the things that you haven't felt secure before. When it comes to those of you that are single, this is not going to be the great week. This is not going to be a great time to actually find somebody new, because a few people are going to be around you. Few people are going to be available to you, but all of them are not going to be good. And this is why I said this week is so karmic. And this is why, because you're almost going to you're almost going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to see a few people, they will all be like, ooh la la, hello baby, like this, all of them like, my lord, but you just have to remember you're going to be like very tempted this week. Is going to be tempting, but I would just like stay away, because all these people are not really good. They're only there for you to learn a little lesson. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm talking about is of course going to be Aquarius. truth. Na 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 na. Sorry. Okay, the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be Aquarius. Now, Aquarius. Okay, now you need to have a number 9 around you this week. The whole week, try to write somewhere number 9. Write it on a little bit of paper. Maybe have it on a little like an amulet or something. Try to write it on a little paper. Have it in your pocket. Maybe write it on your hand. Number 9 is going to be your protector. Number 9 is going to protect you, because there will be a situation this week when there is some really evil Medusa is going to come through. Evil Medusa is going to come forward. So therefore, a female, I need you to be really careful. I need you to stay away. I need you to be so careful, because this female is very interesting. She's very successful in many ways. She's a very strong person. She's a very strong woman, but she is just like kind of lots of people can't understand her, this person, but it has got a very so much negativity around her, so much negative around her. It is not even her problem or her fault that she is the way she is, because I think that this person is somebody who you need to be careful, really aware of, because somebody had a very difficult childhood, very difficult time in their life, that it was just all this reflection now of them, the way they are. It's just a combination of like a bad things, bad choices they made, but this is a lot to do with their spiritual journey, with their karma again. Okay, and this is why this makes this person to be who they are. You see them, you see this person maybe in one way, but other people see them in a completely different way, and you're able to see something that other people don't see. And this is a very good quality about you, Aquarius, is because you maybe don't even come across like being so spiritually necessarily, you see, but you are very deep, you are very spiritual, and there are lots of things that you know about other people, lots of things that you know about this world, lots of people, things that you feel and you felt about something, let's say, that happened like 10, 20, let's say 15, 20 years ago. If you said something about this world now, people will be saying, yeah, right, whatsoever. But now 15, 20 years later, oh my God, you were absolutely right. You were trails, you know, like things like that, basically. Things like that, and this is just so significant. So just kind of that person is going to try to take a little advantage from you, so please be careful, because this Medusa is going to try to take a little advantage from you, off you, whatever the word is, and you will know who am I talking about. If you don't, you're going to come across this person, and then just be kind of careful what you say, be careful what you do. Try to kind of, if you feel very uneasy around someone, uneasy around a certain female person this week, this is also going to be the sign to just kind of stay away from them, just kind of like to see what the problem is and to see what the next step is going to be. On the other hand, number 9 that I mentioned before, number 9 that I said, is also going to kind of give you like this protection shield, this protection against this person and people in general that are going to be negative this week. Okay, what else I was going to say is just like something that they will tell you something that you don't want to hear. It's also that there's something going to be about their voice and something that you don't want to hear. Okay, what else I was going to say, it's going to be quite good, like when it comes to the actual accomplishment, there is also going to be a really powerful accomplishment that you are going to have this week. It's going to make you feel really good, and it's going to make you feel really strong. It's all connected with you making a really big change, with you making a really big decision, but you've already made this big decision, but then now this is the time of unfoldment, that this big decision is actually starting to unfold. So this is going to be huge time for you, Aquarius, because you're also going to find yourself feeling a little bit tired. You know, when it comes to the actual energy levels, you're also going to be like a little bit drained, a little bit tired. Interesting how this week some signs are going to be completely energetic, and how some signs are going to be completely tired. But when it comes to you, you're going to feel a little bit drained, you're going to feel a little bit tired, but also on the other hand, it is not going to affect you whatsoever, and you're actually going to find this like a motivation, because what you're going to realize that you will do things really greatly this week. Whatever you do, you're going to do really great. Whatever decision you make, you're going to make a really great decision, and you're also going to realize that whatever you start doing, even if you feel like completely knackered this week, you're just going to end up, you know, a few hours later like a flying, like a little bird, and having so much more energy, but also being rather productive indeed. The wonderful balance that you're going to have, fantastic victory and mental clarity. There is a certain male person you're going to need to like kind of remember not to be like a stubborn stubborn. Just go with the flow and do what the right thing is, because you're going to need to make a really quite big decision, and another person is going to be involved with this, a strong person, okay? If it's not a man, then it's going to be someone very strong. I'm not saying that the women are not strong, but this is the actual energy that I'm feeling. Okay, and then now I'm just also saying that basically this is just going to have a really wonderful impact on you, because this is also going to give you a reason for celebration. So this week, my Aquarius, is you're going to have a reason for celebration, and it's a lot going to do with relationship, it's a lot going to do with like social relationships, and it's a lot going to do with a partner. If you have a partner, very emotional week indeed. You will feel very close connection with the people in your life, very close connection with the family members, very close connection with the friends, and people in your family are going to mean to you a lot this week. What else I was going to say? Aquarius. This is basically the beginning of the whole new adventure. I said already, there were things that were happening, there were changes that were happening, and now this is going to be the direct results of the actual changes you had before. And this is going to resolve by the time you get to the end of this week. It's just going to become like the whole new adventure, the whole new life. And this is exactly what you needed. You need a little bit of shake up, you need a little bit of changes, you need a little bit of new life, you know, the beginning of new life, new change, new happenings. You know, it's brilliant because it's going to bring you the whole new enthusiasm, the beginning of the new adventure, and also the whole new initiative is going to come through. Some kind of new learning experience, new job, something new. You're going to start feeling very, very drawn towards. But this is going to be brilliant because this is all about your perfection, recognition, and honor, and it's brilliant because this is all about success, and other people are you're going to find yourself being in a situation where other people are going to really admire you quite a lot, and admire your strength and admire your power this week. It's quite good actually, indeed. So for those of you that are actually in relationships, you see, for those of you that are actually in relationship now, you are going to realize that something really big for both of you, and it's the new stage. You're going to get there, you're going to do this, you're going to go through things, but it's just going to take slightly longer. It's a lot about the moderation. Just try to focus on something else, give your energy somewhere else, direct your energy towards something else, and then, you know, this is going to come through, this is going to come forward. But this is a really important part of your life for those of you that are in relationship, really important part of your life, because this is actually going to be the realization. It's all about you to realizing that you're on the right track. Doesn't matter if it's going to take slightly longer. You're on the right track, and the 14 months after this time, after this day, after this week, 14 months exactly, it is going to be a massive, huge, great development, the great second stage development of what I just said. Okay, and for those of you that are single and ready to mingle, you will be very busy this week. Lots of social relationships, and there are a couple of people that are going to become very significant. There are a couple of choices that are going to become very significant. Naughty Aquarius. And both choices are going to be really brilliant, and it's entirely up to you what you're going to do. Both of these people are really good. Both of these people are really significant. Both of these people are really powerful, but they are just so different. So you will find yourself being quite indecisive about the next stage with a certain person in your life, but there will be that option, not one but two. Okay, so now the last sign that I'm going to be talking about is actually going to be Pisces. Now Pisces, there is going to be a little bit of confrontation that you're also going to have this week, and you're going to really have to follow your guts. You're going to have to follow your intuition. You know, someone is going to someone is going to try to talk you. Someone is going to try to talk you into something. Someone is going to try to like redirect you from where you are, where you want to go, when you want to be. If someone tried to redirect you from where you want to be, if someone tried to be patronizing to you this week, if someone tried to tell you that, oh no, you don't want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do that, just ignore them. Follow your intuition, because there is like somebody who I don't like, somebody who's not nice, somebody who's very stroppy, somebody who's very anxious, that is going to try to tell you something that it's not way it's meant to be for you, something that is not good for you. Someone is going to try to like really maliciously redirect you towards the wrong journey. When I say maliciously, please don't get paranoid or anything like that. Maliciously, it's just like I say that because we shouldn't people shouldn't say to the other people like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because you know, sometimes if it's really bad, obviously you say it if it's really negative, but sometimes we have to let people to kind of go on their own journey, to do their own journey, to rediscover themselves, to discover themselves by ourselves, because sometimes people can be easily directed by other people, and that is not really good, because then you don't let these people to find their own fame, fortune, their own destiny. You don't let, you know, these people don't follow their own personal spiritual journey, but somebody else's. It does happen in that this is also have a lot to do with the spiritual journey, with the personal spiritual journey, with the karma and with the past life as well. So this is going to be an important realization, because you're also going to find yourself feeling very strong and very powerful, and this is where all this energy is going to come through. This is where all this energy is going to come forward, because this balance of energy is just going to make you to react in a way where you're going to surprise yourself. You're going to feel very strong, and this is going to be the beginning of something really big, because this is all about you. This is all about your own power. This is all about your fairness, and this is all about you feeling really creative after that moment, actually, because this situation is going to make you feel really creative. And on the other hand, a big wish is going to come through. You're going to realize that through this, big wish is going to come through. And when I say through this, it's through you being you, through you doing what you were doing so far, through you focusing what you were focusing so far. Don't let someone else direct you, because this is going to be the time that is just going to be so significant this week. And also, there is a certain request and proposal that you are going to have this week, and this is going to be life-changing, my babies. Absolutely life-changing. Just remember, it's going to come in the form of a challenge. You're going to feel a little bit scared. You're going to feel a little bit like, oh no, just do it, do it, do it. Any challenge you have this week, do it. Any challenge arises this week, do it. Any challenge you have, any challenge that might manifest this week, just absolutely go for it, because this is going to be the key. This is going to be the second stage of your massive spiritual journey, which is just going to make you feel very satisfied and very happy about yourself. And this is going to be the beginning of you feeling very good. It is going to lead towards your accomplishment, and also it's going to be amazing. Also, what else I was going to say, the certain reflection from the past is going to bring an insight, because this week you're also going to find yourself like really strangely connected to your past, connected to your childhood, connected to the things in your past. And this is going to tell you, this is like when your own personal spiritual journey, your spirituality, your angels, your spirit guides are trying to redirect you and trying to let you know, because there is a certain stage in your past that you still have to work on. Okay, and this is a lot to do with your karma. This is a lot to do with your spiritual journey. Something that you've left in the past, something that you've forgotten in the past, is gonna become very significant this week, which means that you need to work on that in order to evolve on your spiritual journey, in order to evolve with your spiritual journey. And this is going to be very significant, life-changing indeed. Okay, what else I was going to say is that when it comes to social relationships and things like that, there is a lot going to be happening this week, and this is so good, because this is going to mean to you quite a lot, because somebody that you haven't seen in a long time, also somebody that you wanted to meet in a long time, is actually going to try to come back into your life, and this is going to be brilliant. And it's a lot about you rediscovering yourself when it comes to your social relationships and things like that. And there is also something very spiritual going to happen with somebody in your life this week, and you're going to like this. What else I was going to say, a great accomplishment when it comes to the actual the certain direction in your life, and great accomplishment when it comes to your materialistic life, great accomplishment when it comes to money, career and finances. This is really good, because it is just going to give you a couple of new options. It's going to make you feel really good about yourself, but on another hand, it's also going to give you a new option, you know, like when it comes to the new direction in life. And this is going to be really, really great, because something like you're going to feel like you want to explore, and this is also going to be a very powerful, very important week for exploring, because you're going to find something very spiritually strong and powerful when it comes to you, when it comes to your spiritual journey, through this exploring indeed. Okay, and what else I was going to say, when it comes to your actual health, my babies, you know, you're just going to have to be careful of cold and flu symptoms. Cold and flu symptoms are going to be very strong this week, and cold and flu symptoms are going to be very significant this week. So all I can say to you is just try to be as healthy as you can. Try to drink many juices in the morning. Try to make your own juices like oranges, lemons, so important indeed, grapefruit and things like that. And also try to make sure that you are taking the strong dose of vitamin C. Vitamin C, strong dose, is going to be very significant, very strong for you to take this week. Of course, if you have any other medications, just try to talk to your doctor. Try to talk to your... Sorry about that. It's the motorbike. Hello. So sorry. So any other medications that you may be on, you just need to check with your doctor or check with your GP if this is going to interact with your medications or not. But this is something that I would highly recommend. And of course, echinacea. I always talk about echinacea. It's a herb. It's one of the best herbs to take. But then again, echinacea, it's a herb that we need to take for a while in order to kick in. Because it's a herb. It's a natural herb, so you need to take for a few weeks in order to start working. So echinacea is something that you take on and off. Take it for a few weeks and then a couple of weeks off, then you take it again, then you have a long break, then you take it again. So you see, it all depends at what stage of echinacea you are. Okay, but if you're not taking echinacea, then I would highly recommend like a vitamin C indeed. Okay, and what else I was going to say is just like for those of you for those of you that are basically like in relationship, your partner is going to have like a very strong contemplation. Something is going to happen that your partner was focusing on for a really long time, for a while, that your partner was focusing on maybe for the last like 4 years, and now this is going to have a really nice, wonderful unfoldment of the way the things are going to happen, and your partner is going to be in the mood for contemplation. Your partner is going to contemplating a lot, and you're gonna need your partner is going to need you. Your partner is going to need your energy. Your partner is going to need your input indeed. So this is going to be an important time because you are going to put an input, okay, here. And also, what else I was going to say, that there is, for those of you that are single and ready to mingle, ooh la la, you're gonna be really surprised because someone is just going to manifest in your life just out of the blue. Someone very interesting, someone very sexy, someone very cute, someone very business-like, someone very like a spiritually orientated person, business oriented person. It's absolutely perfect energy, this person is going to have, and it is really something that's going to surprise you because this person is just going to notice you, but you would think that this person would kind of not notice you. And that makes sense. So there is going to be a recognition from someone very special. But that recognition from someone very special is also going to happen at the same time you get recognized by yourself for your recognition in general. Okay, so when it comes to your own personal recognition, where other people just tell you, ooh la la, you've done so well, and this is also going to be at the same time, at around a similar time when you're going to get recognized by somebody, okay, who you wouldn't think that would recognize you, that would notice you, somebody who probably is just so much different than you. Not saying this person's like, oh, someone who you think is an amazing looking or something like that, but it's just somebody who you would be surprised, oh, I wouldn't think they would like me, I wouldn't think they would look at me, I wouldn't think they would notice me. And this is going to be great, this is going to be brilliant, because it's just going to kind of motivate you a little bit, and it's just going to give a little bit of time to play, and it's just going to be a little bit of flirting going on, and this is going to mean to you quite a lot, because it is just going to be also at the same time beginning of something really special here. Indeed. Okay, my beautiful people, thank you ever so much for watching my video. Okay, and also what I was going to say, that I'm sending you brightest blessings, love and light. Okay, thank you ever so much for watching my video. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium.